Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to do a little beginner's guide here. I've had some requests for it. I did a beginner's guide series last year, but it is a little bit outdated, so I'm going to try to make this just a quick overview beginner's guide. There is a ton to cover in Dokkan Battle. My last set of beginner's guide, I actually did like 5 different guides because there's so much. I'm going to try to just throw everything into one, but it's going to be a more quick explanation. So the first thing is if you're a newer player that just started during the 7th year anniversary, I want to talk about what are some things you should be doing, what should you be focusing on, and I'm also going to talk about just basics of the game. So what I'm going to do to start off is I'm actually just going to go through all the menus and just kind of tell you like where everything is in the game. So when you're starting off, you're going to get this big start button in the middle, and this is going to be your main menu where all of your main modes are. So the top part here is Dragonball Story, which is these are just separate story missions. There are free-to-play characters and support memories that you can get in there. Support memories are just extra items you can use to do things with. So just think of that as an area where you can grind stuff out and get some Dragon Stones. The other thing we have is, I'll just show you quest mode, which is this top left button here. Basically, this is where you're going to do all of your stone grinding. So you're going to go through all of these missions, and you're going to grind out free Dragon Stones. Now, something that the game has done as a nice quality of life update is if I go into a mission here, and let's say I go into this one here, you're going to notice there's 3 difficulty modes. You get a Dragon Stone for each one. If you just clear on Z Hard, it will clear the other ones automatically for you. So go through quest mode, do it on Z Hard right away. They're not that difficult. Your goal should be to just try to put together a kind of quick, scrappy team that can get through basic content, which shouldn't be that hard, especially if you jump in and you've pulled on the new 7-year banners. As long as you get like one of the, like just a unit that can be a decent leader, you can piece something together to for sure get you through quest mode very easily. And then you want to try to get just a stable team that you can do like all your basic Dokkan events and then start tackling the harder content, right? But quest mode is something that you definitely should focus on to give yourself a lot of resources and Dragon Stones. And once again, just build up through all of that to work that out, right? Then we have the event tab. Within the event tab, you've got story, growth, challenge, and Z battle. These are all very different things, right? The story mode is pretty much going to have just regular quests that you can go through to get some more Dragon Stones, some resources, and then most of these will have free-to-play units you can grind out. I am a proponent that you should be grinding out free-to-play units just because it's good to have a lot of units in your box. Some are definitely better than others, but they're like free units the game is giving you, so it's always worth grinding them out. So these top 3 events are specific to the Year 7. These are the Year 7 free-to-play units. They're honestly not that great, but as like a brand new player with like no units, like you definitely could get some use out of them. But definitely go through, at least get the Dragon Stones out of these. Because if you don't grind them now, you're not going to be able to get them for a while. So you might want to prioritize these because they're a little bit more time limited than other things I'm going to talk about. Okay. I'll talk more about story mode in a minute. But there's like, there'll be various things in here, but mostly these are like story events related to the current celebration where you can grind stuff out. I'm going to talk about specific things to target though, but we'll do that in a minute. The growth tab. What you're going to see in the growth tab that's really important here is there are once per day quests that you want to make sure anything that's once per day, you want to do them because they're always worth grinding out. This event here is specific to the 7th year anniversary, so if you're watching this later, this won't be out, but there could be other ones like it. But you get unique equipments here, and equipments are really good for your characters, so definitely go ahead and do that. This is like your must play once per day every day. You get a ton of experience from doing this. You get a lot of Zenny training items, really good things for beginning players. The other thing is you get really high link leveling chance. So link leveling is another thing. I wouldn't make link leveling a focus as a brand new player, but it is something that you can do and start to work on. I'll talk through like characters and units here a little bit later in the guide. We'll talk about links and what that's all about. This is a once per week, but you get equipments from that, so you definitely want to grind that. This one, you will want to grind it a little bit eventually. This is specific to the Bardock and Ginyu units, which I am going to talk about because you do want to get them as a newer player. Anytime you see hidden potential stages, you want to grind those every day for sure. Potential orbs are one of the most valuable resources in the game, and they are limited. They're not farmable. So anytime you get a chance to get them, you want to do it. Normally, you'll just get a different color potential orb stage per day. But right now, during the anniversary, you're getting this deal here, where you can grind every potential stage once a day. So that's really, really good during the anniversary. So definitely prioritize your hidden potential orbs there. And then just some other basic story stuff in here. These bottom ones for like awakening medals and stuff, you probably won't have to do that too much. I mean, as a newer player, if you're really low, you might have to. So if you need to grind awakening medals and like training items and stuff, you can do that down on these bottom stages. But these ones aren't as important. It's pretty much all the once per day stuff. Okay. The challenge, this is where like Dokkan events are going to be. Dokkan events are what you would do to like awaken characters. So like, for example, if I scroll down a little bit, like if you get Captain Ginyu, this is the event you'd run to awaken your Captain Ginyu. So they're going to have one of these specific to multiple Dokkan Fest characters. This is where you awaken them. There are also going to be things in here that will be a little bit more difficult. So Ultimate Red Zone as a new player, I wouldn't even worry about this. Like you're not going to be able to touch this as a brand new player. I mean, if you pull like a lot of the good new units from the new banners, like you definitely can beat some of the early stages for sure. But you're going to have your characters fully maxed out. This is the most challenging mode in the game. So don't get discouraged if you like go into this and you just get one shot, because it's very difficult. So don't worry about that as a new player. Sometimes they'll do Extreme Z areas in here. This is where you can Extreme Z awaken characters. So characters will have multiple awakening levels, which we'll talk about a little bit in this video as well. But Extreme Z Awaken is the highest form of awakening a character can get, and you typically have to do a special event or an Extreme Z area to do that, right? And so there are just various events in here, but just keep in mind this is where like the hardest content is packed. So there's one here, so Red Zone's the hardest. The God event is like also very, very hard. And then there'll be like Super Battle Road and stuff in here as well that will also be hard. So like Extreme Super Battle Road, this is another very difficult stage. You can earn like free units and resources through these, but I would just like get into those a little bit later. They're kind of built for players with veteran players with like bigger boxes, more units, things like that. So that's kind of what challenge mode is. Then there's Z Battle. This is specific to only Extreme Z Awakening characters. These are traditional fights where a normal like Dokkan Fest unit, so like this Gohan, you'd have to do 30 stages of it, and they want you to use specific categories to make it easier for you. So this is something else too. As a brand new player, you might not be able to do these right away, but it is important to Extreme Z awaken characters if you can. So you definitely want to do it if you can. The LR ones are actually a little bit harder, but you only do 10 stages of those as well. So that's just where those are packed, right? Going back in, so I know there's a lot here, right? Portal of Memories. Basically, when I was showing you guys all those story events and things, and even Dokkan events, those things aren't available all the time. So anytime there's a quest you want to do that's not currently available, you can go in here and you can see it's the same tabs as I was just showing you, Story, Growth, Challenge, and Z Battle. It's the same thing, so you can access ones that aren't currently available, and then you have to use these special keys. The special keys, you get them through basically like login rewards, through events, but they're not like farmable. Sometimes you can buy them out of the Baba shop, which I'll have to talk about that too. There's a lot to talk about in a beginner's guide, right? So just know that this is an area you can go if you're looking for an event, like you pull a character that's like older and their awakening event isn't out and you want to look for it, you can potentially go and find it in there, okay? World Tournament is just a ridiculously terrible grindy mode. I have a separate guide just on World Tournament, so if you're watching this at a time and there's a World Tournament and you don't know what's going on, I actually have a separate World Tournament guide on my channel, so I might link that one at the end. I might try to quick link like as many like beginner guides that are kind of related to this at the end of this video, so you guys can link into the ones that you want. Ultimate Clash. This, don't worry about this as a new player. What I would say with this, because there are like limited missions with this, hop in at any time and just get as far as you can, but this is built for large rosters. Like you need to have a large roster to get through it, because basically you use characters once and they get locked out. So you have to go through a lot of fights with a lot of different characters to be able to finish that. So it's something, it definitely doesn't hurt you to hop in and get as far as you can, because you don't have to beat it all to get rewards. Just get as far as you can. So Ultimate Clash is something you can play around with. Chain Battle is currently out. I'm not going to sit and do a guide on Chain Battle. You can look up guides on Chain Battle. It's a very easy mode where you just like set up teams of characters, and then based on their links or whatever, you just do damage to an enemy. It's a very simple, easy mode. I think you could just hop in here, kind of look at it. The one thing I'll say with Chain Battle is if you're not sure like what teams to use, just click this battle info in the upper left and click battle result, and you'll see these are the highest scoring players in the game, and you can literally just look at their setups and try to mimic that as best as you can. Okay, that's really the most I'll say for Chain Battle for this very quick, because this is going to be an overall intro to everything. Baton Battle isn't active at the time I'm doing this. This literally is just like an adventure mode where you just send out units to fight and it just battles when you're not playing. So it's just it's an AFK mode, so it's very easy. You just get fun little stickers. There are some additional rewards. The one thing I will say for Patan Battle is you choose a reward type that you want. I would pick the bottom right, the potential orb, when you go into this. So if there's a Patan Battle live, when you're going into it, go for potential orbs. That's my recommendation there. Okay. So we've gone through all of those tabs just to base explain that all. Out here, you just want to make sure in the middle here, there's your mission button. This is where you're going to claim missions. So just make sure you go in there to claim your rewards for missions. Your gift box, you want to make sure you claim that every day, anytime you've got something in there. The news tab is in the upper left. In the menu here, you can look at like your friend data, options, all that stuff. I'm not going to go through all that in detail. That's just like a ton to go through. In the upper left, something that is new is there is a profile. So you actually are assigned a power level. The power level literally means nothing. It doesn't affect anything in the game. It's literally just to flex. So if you are someone that likes power level and you want to flex, basically the way it is increased is by activating hidden potential on characters, link leveling, clearing a lot of stages, and Dokkan Awakening characters. That's literally how that is increased. So that's just a little bit there. What else do we want to show you here right in the front? I wouldn't really worry about that Giru's Guide. The Dokkan Scout, don't worry about that. That won't actually... Well, Dokkan Scout is up right now. So I guess if you are a new player, you actually do want to do this. So if you're a new player, what you want to do is you do want to scan somebody's code for this, and then you're going to get special missions that are going to give you and them a reward. So if you need a code to scan, if you just go on Twitter or online, they're everywhere. But if you want to join my Discord, that's the one thing, I'll just say it right now. You might have more questions because I'm trying to make this a very quick, all-encompassing beginner's guide. But if you need more detailed explanations on things, I do have a Discord that I post in the description of all my videos. Feel free to hop in there. We have team building guides. We'll help you build teams. We have a special section just for the Scouter. So if you need a code to scan, feel free to grab a code to scan to help other players out. That would be awesome. So the Scouter, I guess, is relevant if you're doing this during the 7th year anniversary, right? All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to talk about what things you should be doing right away as a new player. And then I'm going to actually talk about, I will do like a quick little intro to team building and talk about character makeup and stuff, because I think that's going to be really important to somebody as a beginner as well. But what you should be doing here as a brand new player, one thing, so a couple of these things I showed you, one thing is quest mode. So go through this quest mode and literally just grind this out for the Dragon Stones. That's really good. In terms of what should you use your Dragon Stones on, if you're playing this during the 7th year anniversary, you want to summon on these current banners. So if we go into the summon page here, not the top legendary summon, you want to summon on these two, the Super Saiyan 4s or the LR Gods. This is a great place to dump your stones as a brand new player. Now, if you maybe just missed these banners or like you want to wait, then you want to wait for the worldwide celebration that's going to drop at the end of August. That is the next primary spot to drop your stones. After this celebration, there's going to be a Raditz banner, and it is like, he is like the worst Dokkan Fest ever in the game. Do not summon on that Raditz banner. As a brand new player, even if you literally don't have a good leader, I would rather suffer through the game, try to get Dragon Stones with my free-to-play teams, than summon for that Raditz to try to get a team. Wait till worldwide, those banners are going to be absolutely stacked. So that's what you should be using your stones on. The other thing a brand new player should do right away that I think is very good is you should go into Dragon Ball Story. And you want to do this Dragon Ball Z story right here. You want to beat all the stages to get the Dragon Stones, but you're going to grind out a really good character. We call him version Z Goku. You get a free LR Goku. So on stage 6, it's that Goku right there. So you can grind out copies of that Goku, and then through the panel missions, you'll get medals to basically fully awaken and bring him to an LR. So you will have panel missions as a new player. You want to go through and do the panel missions, and the panel missions will do a good job of kind of walking you through the game and kind of teaching you that way as well. But you want to get this version Z Goku. For one thing is he has a leader skill that it's not the greatest, but it's an all types leader skill. So if you're a brand new player and you haven't like summoned for a legit leader, you can at least throw him in as a filler leader, and you can put any unit on your team and you'll do okay, especially for like just generic stuff like what you're going to be doing as a new player. You probably can get through most Dokkan events with him as a leader, to be honest. Not to mention you can bring like a really stacked friend unit that can carry you through a lot of events, okay? But this version Z Goku, for me as a veteran player, I still use him on some of my team builds. He's really good. He's a good support unit. He can do like 5 mil attack stats. Very, very good unit. So that version Z Goku should be one of your first targets to kind of grind up as a new player. Now, the other units you want to grind up as a new player is you want to go into the event tab. And you want to grind, so if we go into growth here, or it might be under story, actually it's under story. Okay, under story, what you're going to see is you're going to see a special training Ginyu Force and a Battle Smart Brawlers Team Bardock. So what it is every day of the week, so every day of the week is assigned a typing. So there'll be an int day, an AGL day, an STR day, whatever. So so today, the day I'm recording this is int day. So on int day, that means you can get int hidden potential orbs and the int Ginyu Force and the int Bardock members available. What you do in these runs is you grind out the character, and you can fully get their hidden potential for free, so you don't need to use normal hidden potential orbs, which is really good. And the reason why you want to get the full Ginyu Force in the full Team Bardock team is because, one, they're flat out just giving you like a full team that is cohesive, that's usable for like most content in the game, barring like super hard stuff, right? But the Ginyu team can also Easy A, and the Ginyu Force members Easy 8 are actually really good. The Bardock members also Easy A. So they both have Easy A's. And the reason why you want to get all these characters grinded out is because you have to use each other on each other's Easy A events. So when I'm Easy Aing the Ginyu squad, you have to use Bardock members. And when you're Easy Aing the Bardock members, you have to use the Ginyu squad. So I just recommend you take it day by day and focus on these two, the Ginyu and Bardock members, get them grinded out each day. So that you have them ready to go. And then as you build out, so what I would do is I would just like fully rainbow and build out the full teams normally, and then once they're fully rainbowed and built out, then do the Easy A events, and you should be fine. But they're very good units that you can use, and I think the Bardock team is going to get better because they still don't have like a legit leader yet, but I think they're going to get a really good Bardock leader like how Ginyu got for the Ginyu team. So those are some things that I would do as a newer player. And then just legitimately, anytime that you're not sure what to do, find any event anywhere that you can grind out, and just get your Dragon Stones. One thing I'll mention in the challenge tab that I didn't talk about yet, there is something called, let me find it. It should be in here. Boss Rush. Okay. Boss Rush, all this is you're basically doing a series of Dokkan events back to back to back. And there's a lot of stages in here. So let's look at all the stages. There's 14 stages. Each stage in here is worth 35 Dragon Stones. So there is a ton of Dragon Stones to be had in here. And these are not difficult. If you build out one full team with like a current Dokkan Fest leader, not even a current one, just a Dokkan Fest, like a 170 led team, you can beat all of this like cakewalk easy. So as soon as you get like your first team like fully built out, like super attack level 10 and all that, you're going to be good to go on that. Okay. So I think that'll kind of summarize what you should be doing like right away as a newer player, getting those free to play units, targeting those, and then slowly building yourself up to those harder events, right? Now, I'll think I'm going to end the video with a little bit of team building and talking about how characters work, because I know that's something that people are going to want to know, right? Oh, actually, I need to talk about this too. So a tab that I didn't mention was this Baba Shop in the lower right. This is actually a good place for you guys to know. So in the Baba Shop, you can do a lot of exchanging for various items based on, some of these items are from quests, some of them are like login, like the 7th anniversary tokens they're giving you. So this is a place, just look through it. There's a lot of stuff in here you can get for free. There are these red, yellow, and blue coins. These are coins you get for summoning on banners. So this is Dokkan's quote-unquote pity system. You can't get the current newest unit, but you can get any other unit on the banner with these. So if you want to buy units with your coins, this is where you do it. If you end up getting coins and want to buy a unit but you don't know who to get, just hop into my Discord and ask. We'll give you our opinion on who the best characters are to get there, right? The other thing is there's trade points in here. So here they'll just be like items you can buy with Baba points. The way you get Baba points is you can actually sell like extra units in your box that you don't need. You can farm up free-to-play units extra and get Baba points if you want to. But basically through just summoning on the game, you're going to get enough extra characters to sell that you're going to build this up pretty quick. And this has a bunch of training items and awakening medals and things like that, support items that you can use in there, right? If you click this purple plus in the upper right, if you click characters for points, this is where you would sell characters for Baba points, okay? But what you want to do, if you can, is sell characters for coins. So if you're pulling on a banner, as long as you're pulling with Dragon Stones, those characters can be sold for coins. Now, the color coin you get depends on the banner. So if it's a normal Dokkan Fest banner, you're going to get red coins. If it's an LR banner, you're going to get yellow coins. And if it's a kind of like a weird off banner like Dragon Ball Heroes or something like that, or like an Elder Kai banner, you're going to get blue coins. So if you do characters for coins, so you always sell characters for coins before selling for Baba points. So if they can be sold for coins, you want to sell them for coins. If you have characters that can't be sold for coins, then sell them for Baba points. Okay, so there's a lot more to that, but that was a really important just base thing that I wanted to show you there. Okay, so let's hop into like the character part of it all. So let me just go into like my team build here. So I'm going to click the team button, and I'm just going to go into teams. So when I go into team building, what you're looking at here, let me just go to like team 1 here, and we'll just pick like here, we'll do this Android team as a pretty good example. The character, so if I go into team formation, you're going to be building a team. The big thing to know for a brand new player is the character on your far left is your leader. And every character in the game has a leader skill, but only one character's leader skill is active on your team, and that is the first character you put in on the far left. So you want to make sure that when you're building a team, you have a leader skill in mind, and you put characters in on that team. So actually, here's what we'll do. We'll build it from scratch and just show you guys how to do it. So let me just go into here. I'm going to go ahead and just wipe a team. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I want to build a team for Cell. So let's say I get Cell, and I know that this Cell is a leader, okay? So let's say I want to build a team for him. If I click and hold on a character, you'll see their stats and their effects and everything. The way you know that they're a leader is right here. They have a leader skill, and it'll read off the leader skill. Pretty much the bare minimum you want for a good leader skill is like 150% the stats, but in today's game you want 170 if not 200. So this Cell is known as a 200% leader skill. So the way his leader skill reads is if they're on Androids or Android Cell Saga or Power Absorption category, they get 3 key and 170 to stats, right? But then if they're also on the Androids category, they get an extra 30% to stats. So basically, if you have an Android category character that is on one of the 2 top leader skills, they're going to get a 200% buff. So this right now is the top tier leader skill in the game to have a 200% buff, right? So when looking at a character, you want to look at the leader skill and then build the team based on that. So basically, I want to build my team with units that are Android Cell Saga and or Power Absorption, right? So what you're going to do is in the bottom right, you'll see this yellow attack button. I can click on that. It might not say attack for you. It might say acquired or something else. But this is your sorting options, right? So what I want to do is I want to select category, and I want to sort for just the categories that Cell leads, because I don't want to put characters on his team that aren't on his category, right? So we had Android Cell Saga, and then we had Power Absorption, I think was the other one, right? So let me just go into Power Absorption. Okay. So the other thing is when you're doing this, you want to change it to partial match. When it's on partial match and you pick multiple categories, it just means it'll show you any unit that is on any of the categories you selected. If you pick full match, it means you're only looking at units that are on both categories. The units don't need to be on both of these categories, so we just want units on either one. So I'm going to go like that. So now my box is showing me only units that are on AGL Cell's leader skill. So I'm safe to put any of these units, oh here, I got to close it so it's not just the word Cell. So I'm safe to put any of these units on the team, and they're going to at bare minimum get the 170 buff. Now, if I also want the full 200% buff, then I would want to pick androids out of these, right? So I might pick this guy. Now, the other thing is units have links, right? So like you'll see that these links here, basically the way links work is if he's touching or he's next to another character with the same links, they'll activate and get the effect. So for example, Big Bad Bosses gives him 25% attack and defense. The way he activates that, he has to be touching another character with Big Bad Bosses. So this AGL Cell, if we look at his link set, he's also got Big Bad Bosses, okay? Now, as a new player, I'm not going to expect you to instantly know who links well together, right? Which is why in my Discord, you can join the team building section in there, and we will help you build a good team and tell you who good linking partners are. Also, if you go, there is a new Dokkan wiki that shows you who the best linking partners are, and there's also a linking partner app online that will show you who the best linking partners are. If you just do a Google search for Dokkan linking partners, you will find the link at the very top, and then you can click on what character, and it will tell you who links best with that character. So basically, the general team building idea is this. You want to set up 2 main rotations of good attacking units that link together, and then you want to have like some floating support units, okay? So AGL Cell links really well with Physical Cell. Now what happens is when you go into a fight, you have to bring a friend unit, and the friend unit should be the leader that matches yours. So you're going to have a friend AGL Cell as the other leader, so you'd want 2 units that link well with Cell. Okay, so me just personally knowing this, now you can look at your own units and kind of figure it out, but there's a unit called Second Form Cell, this guy right here. So he's a support unit, but he also links well. So right now, this team would be AGL Cell linking with Physical Cell, and then AGL Cell linking with STR Cell, right? Then you might want to bring support units. So Zero and 19 is a very good support unit. What is a support unit, you say? When you go into a unit and you look at their passive, anytime they have something in their passive that they give key and or stats to the whole team or rotation, that means they're a support unit. So his part of his passive says androids, category allies, key 3, and attack and defense 40%. So what that means is he's giving the rest of his rotation key, and he is giving them attack and defense, which is very good, right? So then we'll just grab some other support units. Now keep in mind, when team building, and like I said, I'm not going to make this a full team building video here. I do have a full team building guide. I'll probably have that as one of the ones I link at the end if you want a more detailed explanation. But just know that there isn't one correct team build for any team, because it's going to be based on the event. When you're doing really difficult content, you can't have type disadvantage. You want to be type advantage, things like that, okay? So I guess that's something else I can tell you guys about is characters will have type advantage or disadvantage based on the typing that they are. So for example, STR units are strong against physical, but they're weak against agility, right? So when you're in a fight, there's actually like a chart in the upper right that shows you the type advantage, but you'll get used to it as you go through it, right? So this to me would be like a basic team build. The cells would run on rotation. This is something, just experiment with it on your own. But that's the basic thing for this beginner guide that I want you all to understand is how the leader skill part works. So make sure that whoever your main leader skill is, that's in slot 1, and then they're giving that leader skill. So like Zero and 19, right? They have a leader skill that says androids, key 3, and 120 to stats. But their leader skill isn't doing anything right now because they're not in slot 1. And we don't want that as our leader skill. So just keep that in mind with the leader skill part. Okay. The other thing we should talk about is just how to like improve a character, right? So let's go to the growth tab and we'll go to training, and I'll just do by like acquired, and we'll just do this, okay? So let's say I want to like, sure, we'll just train this Gohan, right? So when you go into train the Gohan, you can typically, if you have training items, you can just press auto here, it'll awaken them. If you use a training location, you can boost how much experience you get, and then you just train like this. And then awaken, and then when you awaken, you get awakening medals you have to use to awaken them, right? So basically this is just a normal awakening. What'll happen is once you awaken a character to a point, they'll have to Dokkan awaken. That's where you use the medals from the Dokkan events, and then you might have to Extreme Z awaken, which you have to use different medals from EZA events, but that's basically your awakening. The other thing with the character is they have super attack levels, right? So if we look at this Gohan that I just leveled up, his super attack is 1 out of 10. You want all of your characters to be super attack level 10 out of 10. The main way to do that, let me go back to training. So let's train here. The main way to do it, the game will show you, but you can either use these purple Elder Kais. These purple Elder Kais basically will increase the super attack level of any character. Before you use purple Elder Kais though, a lot of times characters you can farm their super attacks for free, okay? So the other Kais, there's the Sleepy Kai, which has a 30% chance, and then these Grand Kais are 100% chance to increase super attack level, but it's only for certain typings. But you can see here, I've got other Gohans up here that some have a 50% chance and some have a 100% chance. So if it's a free-to-play unit, you want to farm up enough free-to-play units of the same copies just to feed in and do the super attack, right? So this Gohan is the exact same Gohan from the farmable event, so I can feed him in and you'll see he'll gain a super attack level. The other thing you can do is a different card with the same name will also have a chance. So this Gohan here has the same name, so it has a 50% chance. But if you take that unit and awaken it to a UR, it becomes a 100% chance. So even if it's not a farmable unit, or if it's not the exact same unit, so let's see there's a summonable Gohan with this name, right? I could go in, so like let's say you pull this Gohan specifically, right? And you want to raise his super attack level, you can go in and farm up this Gohan, try to make him into a UR, and then you could feed him into that one, right? So that's the basics of getting your super attack level up, so you want to make sure you do that, right? So then the other thing that you have to do with the character is you'll have to look at their hidden potential. So let's go into, sure, we have to go into a UR card. So let me find a UR card. I gotta have one here somewhere. Hold on. Alright, yeah, let's go into Recruitment Goal though. So we'll go into Growth and we'll go into Hidden Potential. So in here, this is where you use your potential orbs. And it's going to increase the character stats, and they're going to get bonus abilities like combo attack, crit, dodge, things like that. In general, I'd say in the game, combo attack is the best out of all of them. So if you're not sure what to put on a character, I would go combo attack. Then usually crit is the next best, but sometimes dodge is really good on characters too. It just depends on the character. Now, to fully do this hidden potential, you need 4 extra dupes of the same character. So you have like this middle slot here. So like right here where this heart is, that's a slot I had to unlock. So when you're unlocking these with the same unit, you want to do bottom right path first, top left path next, and then the other 2 paths doesn't really matter. And then if you fill them all out and do all the hidden potential, that's how the unit becomes rainbowed. And that means that that unit then is completely maxed out. Okay. The other thing that I was talking about with links, let me go back into character list here, is I talked about links, that characters have links, and then when they touch, they get that effect. You can level these up. Basically, all you do is you just use the character within quest, and they will level up. Some of the better, if you are interested in link leveling, right now 7-10, 8-9, and 23-8, those are some of the better link leveling stages. There will be a new one when new quest stages come out. I think it's 28-2 is another really good one that comes out. But for now, as a new player, don't worry about it. Just use your characters in events. They will naturally link level up on their own. And it's just a random chance. It's not something where you're actually gaining experience. You just have a chance to link level, and you either get it or you don't, and they max out at 10. Whew. Okay, so that's a lot. I know there's a ton of stuff I'm probably leaving out. One thing I will say that a newer player can do is when you go into summons, there is a friend summon banner. And actually on global right now, during the anniversary, there's actually an updated one that you can get Kaizen stuff on this. So I'd be summoned on this like crazy. But there's actually like 3 LRs in here you can get. I don't know if they're going to show up on the featured list here. No, they're not. But you can see here the Android 17 and 18, and then that Sandman 1 and 2. They're actually like very good, solid LRs. There's also a Hercule that can be an LR, but he's not good. So don't worry about him. But the Android 17 and 18 and the Sandman 1 and 2, they actually have easy A's, and they're full LRs, and they're actually really, really good. You actually saw me put that Android 17 and 18 on that Cell team, and they're actually really good on there. They can hit like 7 mil attack stats, and they're supporting for defense. Like, they're crazy. So that's another like free-to-play unit I would target as a newer player. As you're getting friend points, dump into these banners and get these LRs and get them awakened. So anyways, guys, I think I'm going to call it there as my very quick overall beginner guide intro to a new player starting during the 7th year anniversary. If you have further questions, let me know in the comments, or just join my Discord, and we'll help you out in there. And then I'm going to link some other guides that I've done that I think will be relevant to you all. Feel free to watch those other guides for some more details on some of the pieces I maybe talked about here. Hope this guide helps you all out. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.